The Miami Dolphins are walking a financial tightrope, and the safety net is looking thin. With a roster full of talent but a salary cap situation that's about as comfortable as a bed of nails, tough decisions are looming. Moves will have to be made. Big names could be out. And let's be honest, there's a sense of unease creeping in. Who stays? Who goes? Who becomes just another footnote in a franchise constantly chasing that elusive championship? The reality is brutal. The Dolphins don't have the luxury of spending their way out of trouble. They'll need to cut, restructure, and maybe, just maybe, bite the bullet on a few painful goodbyes. Some players, no matter how beloved, are just too expensive to keep around. And some, well, haven't lived up to the price tag. It wasn't supposed to end like this. Raheem Mostert was a revelation in 2023, a human highlight reel with 21 total touchdowns, a franchise record that had Dolphins fans dreaming of bigger things. He was speed. He was explosiveness. He was everything this offense needed, until he wasn't. Fast forward to 2024, and the writing was on the wall. In Miami's final 9 games, just 42 touches, 154 yards. A ghost of his former self. Not because he lost his talent, but because the future had already arrived in the form of Devon Achane. And when the Dolphins drafted Jalen Wright, the message was clear. Miami is moving on. Mostert's cap hit in 2025, $3.9 million. The savings from cutting him, $2.9 million. Nostalgia doesn't win championships, and the Dolphins can't afford to hold onto the past when the future is sprinting full speed ahead. Durham Smythe has been with Miami long enough to see the offense evolve, but somewhere along the way, he got left behind. Entering 2024, there was hope that he could carve out a role as a reliable contributor. Instead, he became a footnote. 9 receptions, 53 yards, 2 drops. That's not production. That's background noise. And in an offense that thrives on efficiency and speed, there's little room for a tight end who doesn't make an impact. The numbers don't lie. Cutting Smythe would leave Miami with $2.7 million in dead money, but they'd save $2.2 million in cap space. In the grand scheme of things, that's a move they can justify. This one stings. Alec Ingold is everything you want in a football player. Tough, selfless, and a leader in the locker room. A 3-time Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee, a Pro Bowl fullback in 2023, and a guy you want on your team. But sentiment doesn't balance the books, and Ingold's production in 2024 left much to be desired. Miami tried to get him involved early in the season. 16 touches in the first 7 games, 73 yards, a touchdown. Then, silence. 5 touches after November. It's not that he wasn't useful. It's that Miami didn't seem to need him. Pro Football Focus slapped him with a 44.7 grade, the worst of his career. And while cutting him would leave $3.2 million in dead money, the $1.7 million in savings might be too tempting to ignore. They could wait until after June 1st to free up $3.7 million. But is the delay worth the trouble? That's a decision Miami will have to weigh carefully. This one is complicated. When Miami traded for Bradley Chubb in 2022, they thought they were getting an elite pass rusher. And for a time they did. Chubb led the team with 11 sacks in 2023, proving he could be the dominant force they envisioned. Then disaster struck. A devastating knee injury sidelined him for all of 2024, leaving Miami in an impossible position. When Chubb steps on the field in 2025, it will have been nearly 2 years since his last NFL game. Will he still be the same player? Will he ever return to that Pro Bowl level? The financials are ugly. Chubb's cap hit in 2025 is a staggering $28.7 million, and it only climbs from there. A restructure or extension could soften the blow. But at what cost? Betting on a player coming off a major injury is always risky, and Miami already has Jalen Phillips and Chop Robinson ready to take over. Cutting Chubb after June 1st would free up nearly $20 million in cap space. Trading him would be the ideal scenario. But who's taking on that contract? If Terron Armstead were guaranteed to stay healthy, there wouldn't even be a discussion. He's a rock-solid left tackle when he's on the field. But that's the problem. He's never on the field long enough. In 2024, Armstead missed 2 full games and was either limited or sidelined in 5 others. That's not an anomaly. That's a pattern. In 12 NFL seasons, he has never played more than 15 games in a year. Miami knew what they were getting when they signed him, a talented but injury-prone lineman. But now they have a decision to make. Armstead carries a $22.8 million cap hit in 2025. That's a hefty price for a player who might not be available when you need him most. The Dolphins already drafted Patrick Paul in 2024 as a potential replacement, and it might be time to make that transition official.